let's go ahead and get some real data and get some images and make it a little better. Let's go ahead and do this. But first of all, we are going to represent each movie as an object. As things are right now, if you go to home screen, what we're doing here, we're just passing this list of strings. We're going to change that. So let's go back to our package. I'm going to right click. Let's create a new package. Say model. Inside here, I'm going to create a new data class. So I'm going to create a Kotlin class, and we need a data class, right? Because this will just represent data. So I'm going to call this movie as such. So a movie will have an ID. It's going to be a string, and then we'll have a title, which is also going to be a string, year that was released, a string, and genre, which is also going to be a string, director, string, actors, a string, and the plot of the movie, also a string. So I'm just creating a few properties here, and poster, which is going to be a string as well, and val images, it's going to be a list of string, because those will be URLs. And let's just finalize it with the rating, also a string as such. All right, now all of this data, we're going to be getting pieces of it actually from a film.json file that I found online. Okay, so you will have access to this, so you can take a look and see, right? But really, the way things are going to be set up, you won't really need this, but I will include anyway. That way you just have an idea. So what this is a JSON file, which is a format used to represent data as objects. Okay, so we have an array or list containing object like this. So each one of these, it's going to be a movie. So as an object, or in this case a class, we'll have a title, a movie, one movie. A movie has a title, year, rated, and so many other. This is what I am modeling from our movie class there, okay, with a few changes, of course. So this is what we're doing. So I'm going to extract all of this data and put in a list, right, manually, and then we're going to be able to use this as our data source for this app. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Now, because we are not getting this information, this data, movie data, from anywhere else but locally, and it's just dummy data per se, I'm going to create a function here called get movies, okay, because we're just getting something. And this, in this case here, this will return a list of movie objects, right? This movie there. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to say return. I'm going to return a list of, and I'm going to pass all the elements here. So here I'm going to go ahead and create a movie, a few movies actually. So I'm going to say something like this, movie, and I'll have to pass ID, pass the title, and so forth. Now I already have created all of this, and so you will have access to all of these objects, movie objects, so that way you won't have to watch me type. Power of editing. Now you can see now get movies will be returning movie objects. So each movie has an ID, title, year, genre, director, and so forth. And of course, images, a list of URLs containing images, then the movie, and so forth. So this is what we're going to be using to populate our user interface. All right, now that we have that, let's go to our home, and instead of passing a list of strings, what I'm going to do, let's change this to say list of movies. Movie like this. We're going to have a problem, so we're going to have to get rid of all of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this list, and here I'm just going to say get movies as such. All right, now we're going to have another problem here because the movie row is expecting a string, right? So let's go to movie row, and here I'm going to just say this will be a movie object like that. and we're going to have an issue here. And because on click, what we want to do is we want to be able to get the ID. So I'm going to say dot ID, right? To invoke that ID, we're going to need that to then get the information. All right, so in this text here, of course, a movie now is just an object, actually is an object, not just an object. Let's just say for this text, I'm going to say I want the title that I want to show here. So I'm invoking the properties of our object. Very well. Now, the other thing you will notice is that the movie row is inside of main activity. This is not good. So what we're going to do, actually, usually what you want to do is to create another package. In this package, we can call widgets. So this is where we add all the pieces of information, in this case, all the pieces of GUI, all the composables, smaller composables. Okay. So then I'm going to just cut all of this. In fact, before I do that, let me create a new file. It's going to be just a file and call this widgets, like this, because we can put more than one widget. Okay. And then we're going to get all of this. I'm going to just select all, paste it all in there, right? And our main will most likely, and there you have it. Okay, so now we have the widget there. It's not being used anywhere. Well, it's being used here. So let's go ahead and import our movie row. And let's see, movie, that's good. Looks like we have another problem. Yes, we need to get rid of this import. That's old one, old news. Okay, so now what are we going to do? Let's go ahead and run and see what's going to happen. We should be able to get the correct information actually from our database per se, right? The get movies. Now, if I click here, I'm going to go and get now the ID, because that's what we said we were going to be passing. Okay, the ID. So each movie, if we go back to our movie, we added this unique ID. This is important, as you will see later. Next, we're going to revamp each one of these rows to look a little bit better than this.